Yeah, this is how I start my videos. Hi, my name is Aditya and you're watching the AG Project. आज मैंने देखी है ओ रोमियो. It's set in 1995 Mumbai. ओ रोमियो follows Shahid Kapoor's character, a local gangster named उत्साह नहीं, उस्त्रा, उस्त्रा. I'll be referring him Shahid Kapoor. So we follow his character, जो local gangster होता है, and unofficially he's also working for Khan sir, जो उसके लिए सारे काम कर रहे हैं जो लीगली पुलिस नहीं कर सकती, जैसे किलिंग अदर गैंगस्टर्स. शाहिद कपूर कैरेक्टर और उसकी गैंग को एक्चुअली इंडिया छोड़ के बाहर जाना होता है. दे वांट टू शिफ्ट टू फीजी बिकॉज दे डोंट वांट टू वर्क विद खान सर एनी मोर. दे आर ऑलमोस्ट ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ गोइंग देयर. उसी टाइम पे तृप्ति दिमरी का कैरेक्टर आ जाता है उसके लाइफ में एंड शी आस्क्स हिम टू किल द गैंगस्टर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर हर हस्बैंड्स डेथ एंड 3 other people who are working with that gangster. And then obviously one thing leads to another. Basically this is how it starts. On paper if you see, इसके अंदर रोमांस है, गैंगस्टर ड्रामा है, रिवेंज स्टोरी है, सब कुछ है. बट उसके बाद भी मूवी काफ़ी इट्स ऑल राइट. ठीक ही है, मतलब पिक्चर ऐसे कुछ ज़्यादा अमेजिंग नहीं लगी मुझे. क्या काम करता है मूवी के अंदर, दोनों लीड कैरेक्टर्स एक्टिंग वाइज अच्छा है. बट आई वुड से तृप्ति दिमरी एंड द कैरेक्टर ऑफ तृप्ति दिमरी इज़ द बेस्ट throughout the film. She has very good motives, very good plans. You can see an arc, a journey from being a naive person to someone who ends up killing people. She is driven, she has a clear goal of what she wants to do. I can't say the same for Shahid Kapoor's character. He's a gangster, but I don't see him doing any gangster shit. Yeah, he goes and kills people. You see one fight sequence in the beginning to establish he has skills, he is fabulous at what he does. But that's about it. And that is also he's doing work for police at that time. It's not his own fight or his own gangster drama that's going on. So at no point you see him, the gangster that people talk about. And overall, acting wise, I think Shahid was okay. He kind of reminds me of the other characters he has played recently. Yeah, there are certain nuances that are different, but again, I feel the style and the suave he brought to the role feels fairly modern, like rather than someone from 1995. Other characters जैसे अविनाश तिवारी is okay. He is the villain of the film. I think he tried to be a villain. He had to force the menacing side of the villain. You know, certain tropes of villain. जो बेस में आवाज में बात करते हैं, जो धीमी धीमी बातें करेंगे, तुमको डराएंगे, तुमसे ऐसी बातें करेंगे. Your facial expressions are very villainous. So वो menacing नहीं होता. You know that a performance is being put forth. And he's shown as this brutal guy. वो मारता है तो बहुत मारता है. But that's the thing. Like I've been seeing this trend a lot lately. जहाँ पे a lot of movies who wants to go brutal, they just do bloody because they want to show, see, even we can do it bloody. But just having blood on someone's face or on screen doesn't make it effective. Sometimes it feels like obligation to show that much blood and doesn't feel that organic in the script. बाकी movie के अंदर there is cameos of other people also. Farida Jalal, who is the grandmother of Shahid Kapoor. Then there is Vikrant Massey. He has a small role. I think he accepted the role, and I think most of the actors who are in the cameos accepted the role because it's a Vishal Bhardwaj film. Because the roles were fairly okay. Like anyone could have played those characters. Disha Patani is just there for 2 songs. And I'll talk about the dance numbers. Wait. Tamanna का भी cameo है, adds to the drama. But again, that character could have been played by anyone. Even like acting wise, Tamanna was very okay. Usually I believe that Tamanna is a good actor, but for some reason in this film she was not working. She did not work for me. It's okay. You can say you have Tamanna Bhatia on a film. That's it. See, film looks good. Cinematography is very good for the most part of the film. There's a sequence that happens in rain. Shahid is coming in car, barish ho rahi hai, and it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite sequences. Shots. Sequences nahi. But shot-wise, it's one of my favorite shots. It almost looks like Batman. Also on the cinematography side, sometimes it looks dim. Like it's too dim at times. Obviously, there's a lot of action. And it's not a bad thing, obviously. It's not like I was not expecting it. It's just like it's too stylized. Stylization is not a problem. But it's almost like the action of Shahid is almost super hero level. I'm not saying कि एक मारा 10 उड़े, नहीं, that's I think typical at this point, but no, like the whole use of blades and how he's using the blades and how he's fighting, and there's this one point in a fight जहाँ पे there are like tons of people coming at him and he has like unlimited blades. He's like literally throwing them one by one by one by one. I'm like, how do you have so many ustaras in your jacket? He's slicing like a Marvel superhero. Then he does this one 360 run, almost tilted slanted way में वो भागता है and he's shooting guns, and he does that multiple times in the film. Like if you have told me that it's a superhero gangster, I would have bought it, but he's not a superhero. Something like that would work in a Deadpool. You buy it because you are showing him as this super assassin. Shahid Kapoor is not a super assassin in this film. It's like, okay, that's a choice. That's a choice you made. Okay. Doesn't entirely make sense to me, but okay, that's the choice of action you're making. Fine. I wouldn't consider it exactly as a weak point, but a choice. Opening sequence में see, action में speed ramp use होता है. Everyone does it. सब जगह होता है. It's a common technique. But ये मूवी में बहुत evident था. Like एक point पे they are also moving the camera and they're fighting, and even camera is moving fast. They are also doing fast, so it felt funny. But that's the case only in the opening fight sequence. But yeah, like overall, I'm happy it's not. It's very clear. You can see the action very clearly. But the screenplay and the editing, it's fairly mid, honestly, yaar. It's fast but choppy. कोई भी scene ऐसा breathe नहीं करता. Even when people are getting vulnerable and emotional in front of you, there is not a lot of weight to it. When you have a almost 3 hour long movie, वो एक फील होने लगता है ना कि भाई 3 घंटे से देख रहा हूँ and I'm not still emotionally connected in the film. First half तो बहुत ही निकल जाता है ऐसे ही. Second half में एक point पे it gets interesting. At least for me it got interesting. मुझे थोड़ा grip आ गया कि अच्छा चलो, I want to see what happens next. Then again it kind of falters and loses the grip. सबसे बड़ा फ्लॉ मेरे को लगा इज द प्लेसमेंट ऑफ म्यूजिक. सो देयर आर 2 डांस नंबर्स इन द फिल्म. एक है आशिकों की कॉलोनी एंड पान की दुकान. ठीक है, पान की दुकान तो चलो ठीक है, इट स्टिल हैज सम कॉन्टेक्स्ट इन द फिल्म के व्हाई दैट डांस नंबर इज हैपनिंग. बट आशिकों की कॉलोनी इज अ सीन इज हैपनिंग. ठीक है, एंड देन उस सीन के बीच में शाहिद का फ्रेंड टेल्स हिम कि आपको कॉल आया है एंड दैट आपको जाना पड़ेगा कहीं पे. He's like, okay, fine. He goes there. He does the dance number with Disha Patani, and it cuts back to exactly where the sequence was going on. Exactly the same. It's literally कि screenplay जा रहा था and then बीच में से कहीं song डाल के and it resumes the scene. It's the same location, same outfit, same scenario. Literally resumes. I was like, तो फिर यहाँ गाना क्यों डाला? And it's more mind-boggling because you know the screenplay writer, the music director, and director, all 3 are Vishal Bhardwaj. He could have planned those things out, right? उसको पता होगा ना यहाँ गाना डालना है. He is making the songs. He is writing the story. He is directing the film. How is then the placements of songs so off? See, I'm just talking about the placement. But when it comes to the performance of Shahid, I am not complaining at all. It's always a treat to watch Shahid dance. So I am not complaining कि वो गाना क्यों है. I'm just saying कि you could have found a better way of putting the song in the screenplay. That's all I'm saying. But Shahid का dance ऊपर से दो मिले हैं मूवी के अंदर. So it's like just great, man. It's just बहुत मजा आया. तो बाकी ये क्या है? Like, is it a gangster movie? It's a romantic movie. It's a revenge movie. You can't say it's one thing. It also has a lot of romance into it. I think romance dominates over the gangster parts of the film. Revenge भी है, so you could say it's a romantic movie, then it's a revenge movie, then it's a gangster movie. But I think it does not succeed in anything that well. Romance हाँ है, kind of by it. मेरे लिए इतना कुछ ज़्यादा work नहीं किया वो चीज़. Gangster almost काम ही नहीं किया मेरे लिए because at no point it felt like a gangster film. Revenge is something that works in the film to an extent. Whenever like Tripti is making some plan or she is doing something, that's very interesting to watch. As I said, she was naive and then she ends up doing things and she finds her way of taking revenges, and that's good. There is one sequence that happens in the film. I think that's the best sequence in the film for me. Is the Ganpati sequence. That's where I really got interested in the film. आगे जाके हाँ ठीक है, that also fizzles out. The logic is hit and miss in the film. For the most part, it stays logical. It makes sense. But then there are certain things, certain decisions that movie makes that doesn't feel that logical. जैसे एक point पे एक बंदे को literally गले में गोली लगती है. एंड वो पानी में गिर जाता है, probably has drowned. गले में गोली लगने से तुम्हारी सांस भी रुकती है. Then somehow he survives it and he starts speaking also very quickly after that. And डॉक्टर का justification is luck. इसका luck अच्छा था कि इसका ऐसा हो गया. I mean that's just convenient. वरना वैसे गोली लगना है वहाँ से निकलना है. It's like that's absurd. एंड बाकी तो है ही, जैसे मैं बोला एक्शन सीक्वेंसेस में समटाइम्स ऐसा लगता है शाहिद के पास अनलिमिटेड ब्लेड्स है. गूंस या जो गुंडे है, गैंग है, वो भी अनलिमिटेड है भाई, आते ही जा रहे लोग, कहीं से भी आ रहे हैं. एंड अ गाय विथ एन उस्त्रा इज फाइटिंग गाइज विथ मिशेटी, एक्स, फकिंग गन्स and none of them can touch him. That's absurd. But ठीक है, as I said, superhero stuff. And yeah, it's based in 1995. From the styling of the character and how character acts, behaves, it did not feel like 1995. Especially Shahid ka character. I doubt the hairstyle and whatever he had was happening in 1995. I could be wrong. I don't know. Music for the most part is forgettable. Placement of song is forced. But first fight sequence में there is a remix version of the song धक धक करने लगा. You know, some notes have been given after the success of धुरंधर कि you know what, एक song लो और उसको remix कर दो. And we'll put that because that is going to become a new thing now, that पुराना गाना लो और उसको remix कर देंगे as a EDM and we'll place that in an action fight. Yeah, they can say हमने धुरंधर आने के पहले सोची थी, but most likely no, because that doesn't happen again in the film ever. Never happens in the film. Dhurandhar mein you constantly see, you know, that's the thing. That's how they have done the soundtrack. यहाँ पे नहीं, just first action sequence जहाँ पे हो रहा है and then it's. तो जब वो हुआ I'm like I know what you did. वो एक चीज़ है जहाँ पे मुझे जो मूवी में लगा, जहाँ पे lot of things you see are happening in the film because movies in the past have done that and that has apparently led to success. At least that is what they believe. बहुत सारा गोरी चल रहा है आजकल, बहुत सारे bloody action movies चल रही है, तो you know घुसाओ, blood डालो और bloody बनाओ, गाना remix कर दो, पुराना गाना ले तो उसको remix कर देते because it worked in धुरंधर, यहाँ पे भी काम चल जाएगा. So when such things happen, बाकी कोई फिल्म मेकर होना इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता, but this is a Vishal Bhardwaj film. You know, and I don't know how much of these decisions are taken by Vishal Bhardwaj or how much the producer is involved in these decisions. So certain things are sprinkled throughout the film jahan pe you know okay, these are like commercial things you are forced to do. As a direction, it's okay, but yeah, I have seen Kamine, Haider Dekhi, and you see those films, this is not his strongest. I wouldn't say this is his strongest film. Film at times gripping ho jati hai. It has its moments here and there, but it fails to sustain it for long, and when you have almost 3-hour film, you need that. All in all, I really wanted to love this film, but it turned out to be meh. I mean, theek hi hai. You won't have a bad time. I'm not saying it's a bad film. So you can watch it if you want. If you have time and you want to see something this weekend, yeah, you can definitely go and watch it. But if you have high expectations, you know, okay, this is going to be the next big thing, I would say maybe hold your horses. It's heavy on the romance side than the revenge and action, all of that. I think a lot of people that were expecting. वैसा इतना नहीं है movie के अंदर है, but the impact of those things are also not that. Yeah, यही था. I don't know how this review went. सेंसर बोर्ड का भी अजीब है यार, क्या बहुत ये सब अलाउ कर लेते हो बट नहीं अलाउ करोगे. They literally silence or beep that word out and literally उसके बाद character is saying ये सब चलता है, नहीं चलेगा. I don't understand sometimes why they censor the way they do. You're being very selective कि कौन सी गाली allowed है, कौन सी गाली not allowed. Weird. Anyway, that was my video for Romeo. I hope you liked it, and if you did, then please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.